Good morning. It is the crack of dawn here in Paris. I have one day before, at this time tomorrow, I will be on a bus on my way back to Hamburg. And that's going to be a very interesting experience. So, we talk it through the day. I'm going to get some lush breakfast, treating myself to something over here that is not just a sandwich. And then I'm gonna hopefully catch one of the scoots that you know I love and ride it along the Seine to Notre Dame. And you're gonna come with me. That's the plan. We all know what happens to my plans this vacation. So there might be a couple of detours along the way, but we'll figure those out when we get there. I have to tell you that walking around in Paris, it doesn't really matter what neighborhood you're in, but it's an architectural fever dream. Because on the one hand, everything looks absolutely gorgeous. At some point, you might think everything looks the same, because it is very much copy and paste at first. And then you notice that there's very intricate details on each of these houses that make them stand out. But overall, it's just overwhelming how gorgeous the city is. Like how well planned the city is to be in a congruent style of just this. Like it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, there you go. That's where I wanted to go. So let's go. Actually, just like this roundabout, like viewers of the vlog might be aware, probably very well aware, that I'm a sucker for roundabouts and how they, increase traffic flow and yada yada yada. But also, it's just a beautiful feature, you know. You can just like, it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. What a beautiful city. I say this as if it's news. It's freaking Paris. Absolutely stunning, even with all the construction going on. What a good morning. I think I'm gonna be somewhere there later on. Doop, doop, doop. Behind me, by the way, the Trocadero, and then there is, I think it's one museum that's split in two parts. And like there's like an underpass. Yeah, and then it looks over Paris. Usually, you can look all over Paris. It's like one of the most famous views you can have. Oh hi! I completely forgot to film on here because I was filming another Bruce Clues. Which I put at the beginning of this video, or here, let's put it here. Good morning from Paris and welcome to Bruce Clues with a special post-election edition. Just not the one that you're thinking about. Because while Germany is trying to figure out which most likely old white man will succeed Mama Merkel, another much more interesting election happened in Iceland this weekend. Because there are the 63 seats of parliament, 33 went to women, which is a huge step in women and gender equality. So far, there are only 3 other countries that have more women than men in government: Rwanda, Cuba, and Nicaragua. With a 50% tie, there's Mexico and the United Arab Emirates, and then of course Sweden and Finland with 47–46% respectively. 33 seats out of 63 would make it the first majority female-led government in Iceland. But there's a catch, because between me being there and walking here, the news just updated and there was a recount and they only got 30 seats, so they don't have the majority, but they're very close. So this is a good sign for future elections, not only in Iceland but also in other countries, to be progressive, have gender equality, and also just let women be in charge. Like, and of course, like, there's the where is it? There? No, that's not where it is. Why is there a tree in a way? There you go. That's the obligatory Eiffel Tower shot. And I finally found a scoot, which I will now take down the Seine and see how good the stabilization actually is. There is still a lot of green on the trees, so I don't really know how my plan will go to show you the Seine and Paris, but only one way to find out. Quick disclaimer, that didn't work at all, but I learned something. I learned something very important, and this might be very good to hear for people who don't have scooters in their city yet, because they're like, oh no, they're gonna be everywhere or whatever. Like here in France, or in Paris at least, they have like dedicated parking spots, so you cannot park your scooter anywhere but these spots. And like they even like mark them. Car coming? Nope. They even mark them with like tiny scooters on the ground. Isn't that cute? Yeah, so usually like when I ride in Germany, there's like, you can't park it here zones, which is like around hospitals and like those things, right? And here it's just like, no, you have to park it here, and that's it. Pretty cool. Oh look, it's a replica of the flame of the Statue of Liberty. So yeah, I really wanted to do this walk along the Seine, but I gotta tell you, it's not really pretty right now. Like, either there's a construction going on, or the views are obstructed by the lovely trees that make these avenues. But if you just look down the Seine, I mean, maybe from the other side, but also no, because everything is covered by trees. That, what enough is that bridge up ahead? It's famous for, I think, like 18th century lanterns. It is a pretty bridge. And then later on there is, of course, the Louvre and, you know, all the other things that come. Before I finally end at the Bastille, maybe. Notre Dame, definitely. So yeah. What did I say this morning about plans? Yeah, that. One of the more spectacular sights of Paris is this. The Grand Palais. I often wondered what this was because I couldn't really be bothered to look it up. I'm gonna be honest. Turns out, now, I was like, hey, it would be really sweet if I could go in there. Yeah, no, it's under construction. Like everything else here. But what it is a giant exhibition hall with these huge domed glass ceilings. And I don't know what the last exhibition was, but apparently that is doing construction, and then at some point, when more people are vaccinated or something, they will host an exhibition in it again. I can't wait, because I've seen a picture, maybe I put it like here-ish, of it being empty, which I don't know what it is. But you know, like this thing where like people go like early in the mornings to like abandoned amusement parks before they open, or like to a marketplace when it's closed. Like I have the same thing with like exhibition halls, where it's just absolutely mesmerizing that there's a huge empty space that can be filled with anything, but it's just empty and vast. Yeah, like this. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, the sun is slowly coming out. There's a halo. I've never seen this, like, I mean, maybe it's because I have contact lenses in. That might be a thing I haven't considered. But there's like a halo effect around the sun. I think it's genuinely amazing. Might also be this cloud cover. But now, I genuinely can't tell. Like, if you can see this, like, just let me know, because I think it could also be my contact lenses. I don't know. Yeah, but again, like, the buildings here, amazing. Everything, amazing. And I just wish I had you with me. Like, genuinely. Like, just sit here at the sand and eat croissants, drink coffee, you know, stuff like that. I'm gonna keep on walking. At some point I will hit, well, Pont Neuf is the next thing I see. And then the Louvre is over there-ish. Yeah, and then we'll have to find lunch at some point, though it is still very early, because it's not even 11 yet. I wake up way too early. That's so cool. I didn't see that. These are made of glass. I wonder if they light up. They must. Everything in this city lights up. Very cool. I showed you Cristo already, but it seems like the Grand Palais is like trying to do his own Cristo piece. It looks even worse from the other side. I mean, it looks spectacular when it's not covered up. But yeah, I mean, I guess these last 2 years are a good time to like cover everything up. There's not a lot of tourism anyway. There's also, like, I walked halfway over Pont Neuf because over there, of course, it's a museum, it's open, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I go to cafes and I go to other places, but I have no problem with that because there's like, what, like maybe 10 people with me in the room. But I don't know how I feel about like art galleries yet, because it's pretty full in there. And they do, like here in France, everywhere you get asked, or maybe not the grocery store, but like everywhere else you get asked for your vaccination passport and everything. But I think I still feel a little bit too squeezy about art galleries and other gatherings of that magnitude. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. Again, it was supposed to like be cloudy from pretty much an hour ago. And I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say, oh, I keep having good luck with the weather, and then the rest of the vacation is going to be rain and drizzly, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. I also, I like about this vacation is that I feel that I'm recharging to the point where I make new news clues and, you know, maybe even work on something else. But that's for later. So this skyline never ceases to amaze me. It is utterly stunning. And actually behind me is the Place de la Concorde, which is, I mean, as far as I can tell, it's just a giant traffic hub. Like, it's a giant roundabout with an Egyptian obelisk in it, which, I mean, I really don't know why they just like don't replicate it and then give it back to Egypt, but that's another topic. You don't need to speak French here, just speak horn. Everybody gets it, or not. I don't know what the point is. But what I wanted to tell you is that I'm halfway there. But over there, you can already make out that there is our goal for today, Notre Dame. And it is, I mean, I love to see it. But here's the thing, the last time I saw it, that was before fire. So, Le Grand Dame, which is, was it Le Grand Dame? Yeah, it's Le Grand Dame. Is the tower, the spire, really, that like fell right in the middle. So it's really weird to see just the two towers of Notre Dame and not the one in the middle. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I'm gonna be heading on the other side, hopefully without anybody honking at me. I really love seeing all these. So along the Seine, like now that I'm going further up the Seine, yeah, I think I'll go up the Seine. You see more and more houseboats. I love houseboats. Like that's the idea. It's like, where do you live? In the center of the city. It's like, yep, it's a quick walk from anything else. Pretty cool. Nice. Okay, so I made a stupid mistake. I even pointed at it with the camera and I didn't realize, like, that of course before was not at all Pont Neuf. No, that was Pont Alexandre. Like the sign was like I'm a huge fan of two franchises that are slowly merging into one, and in some instances one surpasses the other, and it's the Mission Impossible and the James Bond franchise, because they take you places that usually, you know, people can't go or don't go. And like when I was in Vilnius and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have like a Zemo time and a Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier time. Of course I couldn't have that because that whole thing was filmed in Prague and then made to look like Vilnius. While here, I think like this is reminiscent of one of the very cool scenes in Mission Impossible, because they film on location because they have a lot of money, and usually at this point nobody says no to them. Dog. Hey dog, I don't know who you belong to. Is this my dog now? Do I have a dog now? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, a quick ramble as to why I don't really mind when parks are empty or not as beautiful, because they still mean something to me. Very non-statue studded, more construction. Who knew? But yeah, actually, you need to make your way all the way through that, and then you end up here. Now we're talking. Now we're talking statues. And beautiful, beautiful space. Wow. Just wow. I'm gonna have a little sit down. Like, if you want to do opulent, you gotta go to Paris. Like, there's no way around it. I mean, I wonder what it would look like when I can go to my next mystery location. I say mystery location because I don't want to hype it up and then in the end it doesn't happen because of COVID numbers or whatever. Of course, like after this, tomorrow I will be in Amsterdam, then I will be in Hamburg, then I will be in Berlin. So look forward to that. Even though tomorrow probably not that interesting because I will be in Amsterdam for maybe an hour, because I will be mostly on a bus and on a train to get to Hamburg. Alright, well, walk on, find food. This park turns out to be so cute. There's like a lot of like water and like down there they have bees. Over there is the Arc de Triomphe du Carrousel, and more construction. Why? So much construction. So this is the space in front of the Louvre, and it is very impressive. But I also find great joy in the details. So these are open for some reason, and I don't know if you saw the Netflix show Lupin, but if I remember correctly, these are the emergency exits that usually just look like, well, they just look like regular ground, and then they like pop up, and underneath are like these old staircases, which I find really fascinating. Really fascinating. Here we go. That's the island. That's the island where all the action is happening. That's your Notre Dame. That's your Pont Neuf. All those are just ahead. Here we go. There we go. Notre Dame. I mean, they're still restoring it, of course. I think they said they might be done with it like in 2 years. So I did a little walk from Pont out here, a separate video. I don't think you can walk around it to show you the other side because like over there, that path is closed. But I'm gonna try. And if so, I'll see you on the other side. Otherwise, I'll leave you on this view of Notre Dame. Alright, I come from over there, which is where Notre Dame is, to the Latin Quarter. Whatever that means, because there is a French cafe, 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 a French bar, and I think an Italian place over there. And I haven't eaten since 8. So let's get something to eat. Mind you, the busy plaza, Notre Dame is still right behind me. And yet, there's like these tiny side streets that I would like expect in a tiny town, not Paris, you know, like there's like, I would barely fit through that with my truck and walk. It's amazing. It's nice. Explore the side streets. It kind of dawns on me that I was out way too early. Like, this looks so much better when the sun is, well, not in the early morning, of course. Sorry, I'm a child. So you're telling me you name your bus the Toot Bus and say it runs on planet-friendly natural gas. Another thing I realize now walking back on the other side of the Seine is that even like I stood in the middle of this, and you can look at a map all you want, but until you stood next to it or saw it from the other side, like you can't really comprehend how humongous the Louvre is. Like I don't even know if I could get through this entire thing in 2 days. Once I go back into art galleries, as previously spoken about. Not yet, but I would love to come back and just like get lost in this. Like another example is the Grand Palais, and I know, Alex, it's called the Grand Palais. What do you mean it's big? Yeah, I know it is big, but from over here, it dominates the skyline, is what I'm saying. Those people look like ants. Those cars that are still another bridge away from it look like ant cars. You know what I've most fallen in love with in Paris? It's streets like this, because this is a proper sidewalk. This is like a promenade style, give everybody space sidewalk. Loving it. Like you have this up and down the Seine, nobody bumps into each other, everything is nice. Like just give the people some space. And then of course like the option of restaurants putting a blockade up with chairs and tables, but still like the rest of the street is nice. Look at this. Oh, so nice. It is kind of annoying. There's so much construction. Well, this might be a nice picture. But how do you hide on the scaffolding? Ah, tree. There you go. There you go. Thank you, nature. It's like 3 o'clock now, so the sun is not kind to the photographer. But I mean, I don't want to come back here for golden hour because it's just way too late. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so you can actually see like that. That is the scaffolding for the Eiffel Tower, but then there's like a whole music festival happening in the back on the other side, like by the Trocadero. Right now, and I would like to offer you a thought on perspective. It's an absolutely beautiful day, and I got increasingly annoyed by all of the construction happening in and around the city. For example, the Eiffel Tower is, covered up a little bit by scaffolding, and, it doesn't really look as it is in all the brochures. Same thing happened to parts of the Louvre, and also, of course, Notre Dame. But then I thought about the reason of this entire trip, the reason why I came here all the way from Lithuania for a day and then leave again tomorrow. And how that reason makes me sound like a hypocrite if I am annoyed by construction. Because the reason I'm here is this. This is the Arc de Triomphe right now. It is the last Christo exhibit. Him and his wife died 2 years ago, and I think their son put this exhibit on. It is the Arc de Triomphe completely wrapped, because that's what Christo did. He wrapped up buildings, similar to construction. This exhibit only runs for 2 weeks, so did all of his others. The Orange Gates in Central Park. Somehow he wrapped up Lake Como. So instead of seeing this perfectly fine sunny day in Paris ruined by construction, I see it as an opportunity because that construction will not last. It will be gone at some point. And it has a reason. The restoration of former beauty. In the case of Notre Dame, the restoration of a monument that means something to a lot of people. Same thing with the Eiffel Tower. I'm luckily here in the short window of time, respectively, that this construction is up. So enjoy the places that you are at, either for a reason, or for the reason that that moment will be gone very soon, and you're there to experience it. Right, here we go, and it's surprisingly rusty glory, and I think they're actually repainting it. I think that's what that sign over there means. I am in awe of this structure, not only because of what it is and how big it is and when they built it, but mostly because, like, I think I remember the stories that this was built for the World Expo and it was supposed to be, well, torn down after the Expo, and then they just said, nah, let's leave it up. So this wasn't even supposed to last this long, and it's still up. It's incredible. Wouldn't you look at that? It is the painting and stripping of the Eiffel Tower. Alright, very cool. Glad they do that. I mean, they do that with the... What is the other thing they do? Oh yeah, I think they do that with the Golden Gate Bridge. It takes them a couple of years to repaint the Golden Gate Bridge, and by the time they're at the end, they need to start over again. Something like that. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Well, I guess I'm ending the day on this view of the Eiffel Tower. A chocolate croissant and chocolate crepe with a cappuccino. Because this trip turns out to just be a Hudson Hawk reenactment in the making. You'll see. Alright, so this is pretty special. I took myself out for dinner just now, and I was like, well, I'm around the corner, I'm gonna check out the Arc de Triomphe. And there's like police everywhere, like everywhere. All the roads leading up to the Arc de Triomphe are closed, and like all you can see is, like, everybody wants to see the Arc de Triomphe because, again, it's like the Christo exhibit, the mist. So unless you're like, I don't know, I think those are like politicians because they're all like with police and everything, but like look, like there's not a car inside. And this is like, you've seen how busy this is. I also don't know how the traffic is going because people still like drive through here because it's a regular intersection. But yeah, it's really special. Like, good thing I like took a detour. Remember, this exhibit is only until this Sunday, so like October 3rd. After that, all of this is gone, and it's just the regular Arc de Triomphe. But yeah, pretty special. I figure now that I'm at it, I should also show you the hallway to the place I'm staying at. Because it looks quite haunted. It looks like straight out of a Kubrick film.